All right, people. So if I was to say know your weights, that could mean a couple things in the context of what we do here at CrossFit Muskoka. But relative to this video, what I mean by that is you have to understand what goes into loading up a barbell, not just for the weight that might be on the bar at that point in time, but how to quickly change in and out plates in order to get to a particular weight as fast as possible. Now, people want to be highly individualized with this and have their own personal system. There's a couple problems with that. One, it's a group training program, so your personal system needs to mesh with the group, and most times people's special way of doing this does not. But also, I've never seen a single person who can load up bars as quickly and effortlessly as the people that use the system with which I'm about to describe. So if you want to do it the right way, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to find that it's not going to be effective or quick enough, and you're going to be left behind if you try and do it in a different way. So what you need to get wrapped around is the idea that there are standard barbell weights, and what we mean by that really on the most basic level is that the common weights that are used would be the empty barbell plus the plates as they graduate up, which would be 10s, 15s, 25s, 35s, 45s, and 55s. So if you mostly use a men's bar or you mostly use a women's bar, you need to be on point with those, but it certainly doesn't help to be on point with the others as well. So what I'm talking about is this. You need to be familiar with what a men's bar or women's bar plus 10s, 15s, 25s, 35s, 45s, and 55s weighs. That way you can quickly load up a baseline of weights and then build out from there. So instead of trying to figure out what complicated scenario you need to get to 160 pounds in the bar, you're going to know that if you're a man, you're going to put the reds on, which are 55s, and then put 2.5s on top of that 155, and that's a quick way to do this. It also gives you a baseline to work with a partner, so you can switch the plates on and off quickly from this baseline. Now, if you try to do it by assessing what needs to be on each side of the barbell and discount the barbell in the middle, you've immediately added an extra step, and you're not really sure how that's going to equate to the next person that might have to lift that bar. If you use these standard weights, then you can build up or peel down from a baseline that's constant. Now, how are you going to know what each of these is? Well, basically, we use these all the time. So it's very common to see men's prescribed barbell weights in innumerable amounts of workouts at 75, 95, 115, 135, 155, and 65 would be pretty rare, but that's not the hardest math equation to make in this whole system. Similarly with women's bars, 55, 65, 85, 105, 125 are all very common. 145 is a little bit more rare, but it's not that hard or big of a jump to get there. Now, there is another layer of knowing standards, such as what happens when this plate and this plate's in the bar. A common example would be a men's bar with 45s and 25s is 185 pounds. Those are the kind of things over time you're going to want to know, but at the very least you have to understand and have internalized these standard weights, which really amounts to one thing: showing up frequently and paying attention. It's not rocket science, it's just a handful of numbers you have to internalize and sort of get accustomed to. And that is knowing your weights, knowing the standard weights and building out from there with either other plates or change plates.